telephone and cold call. Some of you may have been in business for a long time and have forgotten how to utilize these skills or have never really had to implement them. As a more senior sales representative, you have more experience and you might be fortunate enough to have more people calling you. Or you might be working with a lot of existing customers who will often call you with additional needs. That's the challenge today for sales managers, because that existing customer base may not be filling the funnel like it used to. Newer sales representatives might be just starting out and are not really sure how to move forward in terms of proactive prospecting and the entire concept of cold calling. I'm going to share the step-by-step process from the time you pick up the telephone to the close. Within my sales training program, it isn't unusual that a sales representative, whether new or experienced, has a fear of cold calling. There's this fear that, geez, I don't know if I'm going to do this correctly. What if I don't get through to the decision maker? Or what if they hang up? Sales is unfortunately about thriving through rejection, so you must expect that there will be people who will hang up on you. It's not a fun process, no matter how you spin it. But the rewards, the excitement, the challenge when you do book that appointment, there's very little that will match it. You feel as if you've accomplished something that so few will ever do. And it's true, you have. This is why a critical element of cold calling is the development of a script. There are many people who will say, I don't like the idea of a script. It's too structured. It's not me. But it's important, if not critical. It gives you a formula and a structure to stick by, especially if you get taken off track, which is very likely, considering you cannot control what the other person might say. The idea behind a script is that you get so comfortable with it that you start to add information or throw a sentence or a word in that demonstrates your personality. But you don't want to wing it, because when you wing it and you are unprepared, you won't make your point and your chances of getting the appointment drastically reduce. As our goal with this audio is to reach those high-level decision makers, let's review the 5-step process to book that appointment. Step 1 is to get through the gatekeeper. There are a few things that will help with this process. As you know, so many administrative support personnel are trained to weed out the sales representative, i.e. you. It makes it virtually impossible to get your foot in the door from a telephone call. That's why you want to do everything you can to give yourself an edge. One way to get this edge is to send an introductory letter out ahead of time. Identify 20 or so key decision makers. Create a personalized letter highlighting your organization and how the product or service will benefit the company's growth. And at the end of the letter, in your final sentence, indicate a date and time for which you will be calling. If you're sending the letter on Thursday, Monday might be a good follow-up date to call. If you're sending the letter on a Monday, a Thursday might be a good follow-up date to call. Then when you make the call, alert the administrative support person that the decision maker is expecting your call. After all, if you have indicated in your letter that you will be calling on a specific day, the decision maker should be expecting your call, right? It might sound something like this. Hello, Jane. This is Gail Kasper for Jack Smith. He's expecting my call. Also, whether you've sent a letter or not, a second way to get an edge when you make a call to a decision maker is to sound like you have direction in your message. You should say your name first and then the name of the person you're calling. Hi, this is Gail Kasper for John Smith. You see, we want the gatekeeper to think to themselves, wait a minute, is this person supposed to be calling? Do I know this person? Should I know this person? Is my boss waiting for this telephone call? You should be saying this line with a lower pitch voice. A lower pitch voice says authority. It says you know what you're